Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. We are from Group 7 from Class B. Our topic is the issue of beneficiary and perpetuity, interest of imperfect obligations. These are our group members. I am Ainu Izzati binti Shamsuddin. My matric number is 055552. I will be explaining briefly regarding our topic in this introduction part. Trust of imperfect obligation is a trust that has no defined human beneficiary. This kind of trust may appear to contravene with the beneficiary principle, since such a trust is for a purpose. Also, as in general, a trust needs human beneficiaries. Thus, if there is no beneficiary, the trust may be void. There are two issues in trust of imperfect obligations, which are beneficiary, which is in regards to beneficiary principle, and second, perpetuity, which is in regards to the rule of perpetuity. For the beneficiary principle, there should be someone that can enforce the trust for the court to control it. And for the rule of perpetuity, it must follow a period of time as it is not forever in order for that trust to be valid.
A very good day to our beloved madam. My name is Dineshwari Raja with the matrix number 055903. I will be presenting the first issue, which is the beneficiary principle. To start with, let us be familiar on what is a beneficiary principle. The beneficiary principle is a requirement that there must be an ascertainable beneficiary for a trust to be valid. The origin of this principle is derived from a statement made by Sir William Grant MR in Morris against Bishop of Durham, where it was held that there must be somebody in whose favour the court can decree performance. This has been affirmed in the case of Tulu Kandama at Mariai and others as administrator for estate of Arumugam Anand Laki Nagapan against Perumal Anand Laki Nagapan, where the court stated that the law requires the object of the trust to be certain, which refers to who will be the beneficiaries to receive the benefit of the trust property, that is, there must be identifiable human beneficiaries in whose favour the court can lawfully decree performance of the said trust. A trust will be valid if it is created for the benefit of an individual or for charitable purpose. The general rule is that a trust that does not have human beneficiaries or created for a non-charitable purpose is void. Moving on to the rationale of the beneficiary principle, or to say the reasons behind the beneficiary principle. There are three rationales altogether. Firstly, the trust cannot be enforced by the court. If there is no beneficiary who is capable of enforcing the trustee may act unconscionably and ignore his trust obligation. Therefore, the beneficiary principle is relevant to require for there to be a beneficiary so that the trustee could be held accountable to the beneficiary. Secondly, there will be no equitable owner. It is the beneficiary who will be the equitable owner in a trust, and the equitable interest cannot merely float without being owned. For that reason, the beneficiary principle ensures that there must be a beneficiary to own the equitable interest of the property. Thirdly, the trust will violate the rule against perpetuity. The trust that does not have identifiable beneficiaries and created for a non-charitable purpose tend to last forever, as it will not reach to the beneficiaries and hence will not come to an end in the contemplated period of time. Be that as it may, there are certain exceptions to the beneficiary principle where the trust without human beneficiaries may be held as valid. Firstly, the trust relating to tombs and monuments. This type of trust arises when a property is left on a trust for the purpose of memorial. In this trust, the court may have a little sympathy by holding the trust as valid, provided that such trusts are well defined. Secondly, the trust relating to animals. This type of trust is for the maintenance of personal animals, and it is held as valid though it is a non-charitable purpose trust and could not benefit the public as long as such trust does not offend the rule against perpetuity. Thirdly, the trust for the saying of masses in private. This trust refers to a type of ceremony in the Catholic Church called the Mass. In Born Against Cain, the trust for the saying of masses was held to be valid as a charitable gift to build the church as it could benefit the public. This concludes my presentation. Thank you.
Assalamualaikum and hi, my name is Saifa Azuminti Azma and my matrix number is 056356. Today I will be presenting about the issue of rule of perpetuity in non-charitable trust. Basically, it is a rule in common law where it restricts the maximum period investing of property. When property is left on trust for beneficiaries, the property must vest in individuals within a recognized period of time. If this does not occur within the relevant time period, the interest in the property may be void. This rule is in place to stop property from being indefinitely unavailable. The perpetuity period at common law is basically 21 years. The common law allows for an extension of this period through a life in being expressly specified. This is where the period is extended to the duration of an identified person's life. These are the examples of situations where perpetuity rules are applied in non-charitable trust. For tombs and monuments, the perpetuity rule is 21 years maximum. For maintenance of animals, it is 21 years for the life of the animal, or the expected life for such animals shall be within 21 years. And lastly, for human beneficiaries in express private trust, it is a period of an expected life of a human being plus 21 years thereafter. For maintenance of animals, this can be illustrated in Reading's case, where it is a trust regarding maintenance of horses and hounds. The trust is considered as valid, although there is difficulty regarding the perpetuity rule. The court held that the horses and hounds should be treated as a human life, which is 21 years. Besides, for a monument case, this can be referred to Masset and Bingle, where the first disposition in the testator's will was £300 for the purpose of constructing a memorial. The second disposition was £200 should be set aside for the maintenance of that memorial. The court held that the first disposition was valid because it was a recognized exception to the non-charitable purpose trust rule, while the second disposition was void, for going against the rules of perpetuity, as no duration of maintenance was stated. Lastly, for saying of masses and prayers, it can be referred to the case of Bermuda Trust in Singapore Limited, and we recheck where this trust is relating to Sinchu ceremony. Judith Prakash stated that it was agreed that the trust here does not violate the rules against perpetuities, since it is only to continue for the period commencing on the testator's death and ending 21 years after the death of his last surviving grandchild, who was alive at the date of the testator's own death.
In conclusion, trust of imperfect obligation is held to be void in the first place, as no one can enforce and courts has no power to control their execution. However, there is exception to this, which is falls under the beneficiary principle and the rule of perpetuity, which is for the tombs and monuments, maintenance of animals, and the saying of masses. However, this must not exceed the period in accordance to the rule of perpetuity in order for this trust to be valid. That's all from us. Thank you.